My name is Alyssa, and I oversee patient care here at Options Naturopathic Clinic. And today I'm here with two of our naturopathic doctors. We have Dr. Aaron and Dr. Patrick. And in this video, we're going to discuss some of the most frequently asked questions we get by people who are completely new to our world. So the most commonly asked question I feel like we get is, how is Options different from conventional medicine?
Well, thank you for using the word conventional. That's one of the things that I correct a lot of the time when people call the Western typical medicine, they call it traditional medicine. And I really think of us as the traditional doctors, whereas what they're doing is practicing the convention, yes, based on the most recent science. But we're traditional and they're conventional. So that's the first thing that I would say. How about you, Patrick?
Yeah, and the other main difference is the thoughts and philosophies behind conventional medicine is more reductionistic versus what we would do, what we call vitalistic. And what I mean by reductionistic is that they're just looking at one specific part or one specific symptom and trying to counter that with either medication or surgery as it's like a dysfunction in the system. Whereas in vitalistic medicine, we're looking at the whole person on multiple different levels, both kind of mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and really trying to tie everything into what's the underlying or root cause for why someone's dealing with what they're dealing with.
So reductionism is essentially what happened with natural science. Natural philosophy became natural science, and then it became more about reducing everything to the smaller parts in order to understand the whole. But what I feel is that they kind of forgot to back out the lens to get that whole person and whole mind, body, spirit picture again. And then there's also the difference between what we're doing that has a therapeutic philosophy. So without a therapeutic philosophy, you don't really have clarity around when to do what, or necessarily when the body starts to respond and react, what that means. So if you're not looking at the body as a vital being, you're not thinking about the body as reacting and responding, and therefore you don't understand necessarily when the body has a response, if it's good or bad. In conventional allopathic medicine, which means to oppose, allopathic is opposite, different than homeopathic, which means the same. In allopathic medicine, the therapies are generally oriented to suppress or to make the symptom go away, to stop the body's reaction. And we feel that that's really very detrimental to the body a lot of the time. So it's really important to understand what's going on.
Yeah, just slapping a Band-Aid on it, right? So why is this more beneficial?
So when we're looking at, as Dr. Aaron was saying, suppressing the symptom, it's essentially not addressing the real underlying root cause. So think of it as if your check engine light comes on in your car, and instead of seeing that symptom and noticing, I need to address whatever's causing the engine light to come on, you just take black tape and put it over it. You don't see it. It doesn't bother you. But if you're not addressing it, your engine is still going to have some issues with it, and it's going to be even more worse than if you address it to begin with. And so that we're looking at not just getting rid of the symptoms, we're looking at really addressing that underlying and root cause for it.
So it also means that we're working with medicines that are not toxic. And people would often ask me, well, does this have any side effects? And I say, actually, it has side benefits. So if you get even an elimination response, then you know that something is happening, because in our process of understanding the therapeutic order, you're going from a state of chronic health into back through a state of the original issue that got suppressed back to a state of health. So ultimately, this is really a process of true healing. It's also inherently preventative. And what I find the most useful that I'm really trying to help patients with is that they learn about themselves.
Really important. Yeah. And I have to say, one of the next most frequent question I feel like we get often is, what do I get out of this? The patient often is like, well, what kind of benefit am I going to get? What's in this for me? So how would you respond to a question like that?
It's not, the benefit is going through not just looking at one area that you're needing help, we're actually covering multiple different areas. So we're looking at both, not just the physical aspects of health, we're looking at the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of health, and up-leveling all of them at the same time because of how we're addressing and how our philosophy is addressing the root cause of dysfunction.
Yeah, what you get out of it is feeling better, and absolutely what you put in is what you get out. And we're here to support at all stages of that process and learning how to do that. People don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't even know what to do. So that's what we're here to help them with.
Right. And they've never really been trained on how to understand their own body. And, we have a lot of information at our website, especially about just the naturopathic philosophy and our approach in general. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check it out. Our website is optionsnaturopathic.com.